Hello and welcome back again to the channel. See this beautiful top? I want to show you how to make this beautiful top. Trust me, it is very simple. So the things we'll be needing for this top are 2 yards of fabric. So I'll be using 2 yards of fabric for this top. Definitely I'll need my scissors and every other thing. So the measurement I'll be working with as we go along sewing it, I'm going to be sharing it bit by bit so you really understand it. So what I have here is 1 yard from the 2 yards of fabric that I want to use for this dress, or for this top rather. So this 1 yard, I'm just going to fold it into 4. So to fold your fabrics into 4, you first fold it into 2 and then you fold again like so. So you're going to fold your fabric into 4 places. So you have it 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what we have right now. Then the next thing you want to do is to put in the length of your top. The length you are working with. Here I'm working with 23 inches. So I'm just going to place this tape rule at the beginning of this point and mark out 23. So now I'm going to do this for all, as in I'm going to do it round. I'm just going to leave my tape rule at that point. Then while I move the bottom part of the tape rule round like so, just watch it and trust me, you get it. So you're just going to cut this out. After putting in the length, your desired length, you cut it out. So now look at this part. We have this part is opening while this other side is closed. So this side that is closed is where you are going to use for your neckline, and the side that is opening is where you're going to use for your armhole measurement. Now the next thing is to come down with 6 inches, or come down by 6 inches. This is how deep I want the neck of this top to be. If you don't want it this deep, you can go as you can use 4.5 or 5 inches for this, but I want it to be very deep, so I just went with 6 inches, and I'm going to measure this 6 inches round just as we did with the 23 inches. So this is what I have. I'm just going to mark it out so you see it very well. So on this 6 inches line, I'm going to take out my shoulder measurement. Here I was marking my neck measurement, which is not really necessary. So we don't have any neckline. We are not using any particular neckline for this dress. So the next thing, I want to take my armhole measurement. My armhole measurement is 8 inches. Now because I have already come down with 6 inches, I'm just going to add 2 inches to that 6 inches, which is going to make it 8 inches in total. So whatever your armhole measurement is, after taking out the neckline, then you are going to add that number to just complete it. Then the next thing I want to do here is to mark out my shoulder line. I have 8 inches as my shoulder line, so from that place I marked out that 8 inches and I connected it to the armhole. So this is to form my armhole curve very well. By the time we open this dress, you see it. So what I did here was to mark out my shoulder measurement, and at that point I just connected it to the armhole point and gave it like this armhole curve, right? So this is what we have. The next thing is just for us to cut it. If you watch this video, it's easy, you get it. If you are finding this video helpful so far, please do well to subscribe to the channel, turn on your bell notification so you don't miss out on every of our other videos. So right now I'm just going to cut this out, and here I'm cutting out the neckline and the armhole. So this is what we have. I told you it's a simple top, so I don't need to cut this one out. If you want to cut it, it's just it's optional, so there's no need to cut it out. And at the same time, or when I'm now done, I have to resew it, so there was no need for that. There's no need to cut it out. It's a simple top. So this is what we have. This is our armhole and the neckline. So this is the armhole and the neckline for the top. Now the remaining 1 yard, I'm going to cut out some pieces. So the first pieces I want to cut out 8 inches. I'm cutting out 8 inches because I want to use this for the ruffles. So I have 8 inches here. The length is not really, I'm not sure of the length I have there, so it's just, I want to draw a gather stitch. So whatever you think you have that will be enough for your gather stitch is fine. So there's no specific length, there's no specific width, but the length is 8 inches. So the next thing I cut was my belt. And the next thing again, I cut out 3 stripes. The first one was for the gathers I want at the front of the top. The next one was the belt, and the third one was the bias that I'm going to use to pipe the armhole of this top. Now this is our gather stitch. This is our gathers, the ruffle I want to use for the front of the top. So if you want to do your gathers, just sew straight stitch, loose stitch, and then drag it to form the gathers. So now on the top as well, I put in like just little gathers as well. This is optional. If you don't want gathers at all, then you don't need to go down. Your neckline does not need to be 6 inches. All you need like 4 inches. Between 4 inches to 5 inches would be enough, but I have 6 inches here, so I have allowance for a little gathers. That was why I did that. Then now the next thing is to add this gathers I just did, the gathers ruffle, or to add this ruffle to the blouse. And what I did, this is the back, this is the front side of the ruffle, and I'm going to attach this to the back side of the top. So it's going to be right side facing the back side. The right side of the ruffle will be on the left side, or on the wrong side. I said left. It's going to be on the wrong side of the top, like so. And I'm just going to do a straight stitch to hold this together. So when you are done sewing it like so, you are now going to turn it this way. When you are done sewing it, you are just going to bring it to the front. So this is what we have. I went ahead to add this. You can see this is the right side of the fabric and the wrong side of the ruffle. So by the time I placed them together and I brought the ruffle forward, so at this point I'm just going to arrange everything well and top stitch. Now don't top stitch on the ruffle because it does not make your work neat, but the best thing is to now open this top, open it like this, and top stitch on the top itself. So it's going to be inside the top, which is going to be like the wrong side. You are going to top stitch on the wrong side of the top, so it will hold firm outside and your ruffle will just stay. Your fabric will not be pulling outside when you are done. So I've gone ahead to do this for both the front and the back. I added the ruffles. Now this is our armhole. Remember, while you are adding your ruffle, leave like 1/4 of an inch for your armhole. So when you are piping, your armhole can pass through, your pipe can pass through that point for the armhole. So this is what we have. Now the next thing is to pipe the armhole of this dress. So to do that, this is 2 inches fabric. I'm just going to fold it like this. You're going to fold one, and then you fold the other side too, and then you are going to join these two together. So let me do it again. And this, you are ironing, you are not sewing it. You're just going to fold it like so, and you're going to iron everything out. So you're going to iron it to be in a bias form. So this is what we have. I've ironed this out just like what I showed you just now. I've ironed them out. Now let's go and put this, let's pipe the armhole of this top. So what we are going to do now is to get the armhole of the top. You are going to connect these two armholes together like so. Then you are going to measure your armhole. join the armholes together and measure the armhole, or you can measure it separately, but you can just join it together and measure. Here I have 4¼ of an inch. This is what I have. So you're going to measure your armhole, whatever you have. You're going to fold this strip you just cut. You're going to fold it into two equal parts, and then you're going to measure that whatever you have on your armhole, you're going to measure it on this part of the strip. So you're going to fold it into two. Measure. Here I folded it into two, and I measured that 4¼ that I had there. So I'm just going to mark this out. So I'm marking it on both points so it will show on both sides of the strip. So when I open, I have the complete armhole measurement. So now I'm just going to start one point of that strip that I measured. I'm going to put it at the beginning of the armhole. So the part where I marked, I'm going to start the armhole. I'm going to put it at the start of that armhole, like so. I'm going to put the armhole inside, open the bias, put it in between, and close it. If you watch the video, trust me, you're going to get it. It's simple. So all you need to do is just open the bias and fix in the armhole inside and close it. So definitely you need a pin for this. So I'm going to get my pin and pin this in. Let me get my pin and pin this in. So this is it. All you need to just do is open it, put in the armhole, and close it with the bias. So it's closed both at the front and at the back. So you're just going to pin this. So you're going to do this for both the right and the left part of the armhole. You're going to do this. So now this is what we have. I've gone ahead to pin all this part. So now to sew this, at the edge of this armhole, what you're going to do is to fold it in. Just fold the edge of the armhole, the edge of the strip, just fold it in at that point, and you sew a straight stitch from the beginning to the end of the other part. So you're going to sew this straight, just even including the armhole, just sew with a straight stitch, and when you get to the other edge, you close it like so and just sew from the beginning to the end. You're going to do this for the two sides. And now this is what we have. So the next thing is just to finish your top with, either you serge it or you fold it in, or you use bias to pipe it in, whatever you want to do at this point. This is how the top looks. It looks so beautiful. What do you think? If you find this helpful, please do well to subscribe, turn on your bell notification, and I'll see you in my next